I wanted to share a little bit about my story. Because I know if you guys follow me on Instagram, you maybe have some idea that I do some kind of home-based business revolving around fitness and health and all of those kinds of things. And I feel like if you've been watching maybe for a little bit, you didn't see, the beginning of it. And I've been doing what I do as a coach for 5 years. So it was my 5-year anniversary in October, which is crazy because, the time went so fast. And, I can't really imagine what I would have done had I not been doing this for those 5 years, obviously raising kiddos. But I just know for a fact that my family's life would be incredibly different. So it's kind of crazy to think about that. Just not really only how life-changing this whole coaching opportunity has been. And listen, to give you guys a little bit of like a preface here, I'm not here to convince you guys to become a coach. Like, I want to tell my story. If you hear something, that resonates with you, then we can talk. But I'm not about like trying to convince people to do what I do, because I know that it takes somebody with a certain interest in fitness and health. And I know that it takes a certain interest in changing your life too. Like, it's not all about health and fitness. I wasn't that type of person who worked out regularly before I became a coach. I wanted to, and I would kind of dabble here and there, but I just was sort of one of those people who always had body image issues, always, felt tired, felt frustrated, didn't really know how to eat well, didn't know how to work out. I would go to the gym and kind of wander around and be like, I'm going to play on this machine and not really sure what this one does, but I'm going to read the instructions on the side, or like ask somebody if I saw somebody. But basically I felt like an idiot wandering around the gym. Hired a personal trainer when we were engaged to be married, like getting ready for the wedding. I hired a personal trainer and he was wonderful. He's still a friend of mine. But other than that, I felt completely directionless in the gym. And to be totally honest, it was very expensive, So anyway, I had these 3 beautiful babies. I now have 4, but at the time it was 3. And so I had 3 kids in 3 years. So it was literally a 36-month period that we had 3 babies. And so to kind of put it into perspective, my first was still 2 years old for 2 more weeks by the time my third was born. So when I link back to that and realize that like Bowen is 10 months old right now, and I was 4 months away from having my second one when, my first was 10 months old. Anyway, it's just such a blur of a time, but I got to the end of those 3.5 years after, breastfeeding and kind of finishing up that chapter. We sort of knew, or felt like we knew, right? Because years later we had Bowen. We felt like we knew we were done. And so I was just really ready to kind of like move into that next stage of life, like be a little bit more selfish with my body. I had literally rented out space in my womb for 3 years, breastfed all of these children, and I just wanted to feel a little piece of myself back. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that. I know not all of you are moms, and that's okay too. I don't want my message to be directly to moms. I just want you to maybe hear me out, and maybe there's a little piece of you that feels the same way, even though you maybe haven't had children yet. So, or maybe you're a guy. I don't know. I don't know about the guys, but I'm talking to the ladies here. So that was kind of at the point I was at in my life. I felt sort of directionless. I had these kiddos. I really needed to do something for me and feel a little bit normal again. Like I could fit into regular clothes again. I had literally worn maternity clothes for 3 years. I was just ready to feel like myself. And so I started going back to the gym, and it was crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys know how this is, but with kids getting to the gym, you like pack the diaper bag, you pack your gym bag, you get yourself dressed, you get all of the kids dressed, you make sure everybody has snacks, make sure they've eaten, make sure you have your water, make sure you've eaten, you load the car, you drive like 20 minutes or however far, maybe you're way closer, I don't know. Hey guys. And then you get to the gym and you feel like you've already worked out, because like getting to the gym with kiddos feels like a full workout. So I just got really burned out by that. And I thought there's got to be another way that I can lose this pregnancy weight and not feel burned out by it, like actually love the process of getting fit and healthy. And it was about the time that my good friend started working her coaching business. And so I saw that she was running these online fit groups, and I thought, well, that's kind of neat. Maybe that's something that I could get into. I could do these workout programs at home. I wouldn't have to leave and go anywhere and look at all these people getting awesome results. So I just thought, okay, I'll just try this. So that is what started probably about, 6 years ago now is when I really got into my first fit group. So it was about the spring of 6 years ago. And I felt something shift inside of me. I was like, this is different. And I talked to a lot of people who are like, I just don't work out well at home because I lack motivation and accountability there. I have to go to the gym because I feel like, more motivated there. And to me, honestly, deep down, I wanted to feel that way too, but I just felt a little bit opposite. I felt like the fit group, the online fit group gave me life. Like I was surrounded by other people who were just like me in this group. And if you're already on social media, it was just this private, really cozy community of people who were feeling kind of stuck like I was. And so it just felt really good to be a part of that. And so months went by, and my coach kept, I would tell my friends about this group. I would invite other people to this group. And my coach friend kept saying, you should sign up to be a coach. I thought, no way. First of all, I had dabbled a little bit in home-based businesses before and just felt like I didn't want to be that girl who was like online selling stuff to people. Like I didn't want to be, slanging products and like, here's my link. Like I didn't want to do that. I didn't. So I kept turning her down. And I also felt like I just had zero business coaching anybody, right? I still had like 20 pounds to lose myself. So who was I to be like, hey guys, I'm your coach. I'm going to tell you what to do. So I just felt like absolutely not. That's not for me. But I kept seeing signs, and I don't know if you guys believe in signs, but I kept seeing everything pointed to coaching, and I can't explain it. I don't know what it was. But I just knew that, God was pointing me in the direction of coaching for a reason, and I couldn't not listen. And so meanwhile, in my personal life, I don't know if you guys know, but my husband played professional baseball. He was in the minor leagues, the major leagues. We were kind of all over the place. And the phone stopped ringing with opportunities for him. And we were really, really scared. Like we had all of our eggs in that basket. I had no college degree. I had gone to a lot of college. My husband went to some college. But neither of us finished. He had no resume because it was baseball since he was, 5 or 6 years old. And he was a very talented kid, very talented young adult, very talented adult. So he just never had jobs because his whole life was baseball. And I left my job as a nanny right when we got married. And I was a, housewife / stay-at-home mom right away because we started having kids right away. But basically all that to say we had no job experience, no resume, no business like being hired by anybody. And I had gone on these interviews, and these were some other signs that I had that were like very like cut and dry. Went on these miserable interviews. I remember coming home crying from one of them because it was just so awful. The person who was interviewing people was just super condescending, and it was not a good experience. And I actually got hired by a really popular, I won't say the name, really popular retail store, a really awesome like women's clothes and home decor and stuff. I'll let you guess. And I no-showed. On the first day, it was that weekend that I remember my mom was in town, and I just kept telling her, I was like, I don't know, I just feel like I need to do this, And my first day at that store, I don't know if I've ever told anybody like this series of events, but my first day on the job was going to be that Monday, and I just no-showed. Like I made up my mind that weekend, and I believe it was October 10th 2012 when I signed up. So somebody look in a calendar and tell me what day of the week that was, but I believe it was over a weekend. And I was like, nope, I can't do it. I can't leave my kids. I can't work in retail. I had done that when I was younger, like teenage years, 20s, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave my kids. My youngest at the time was just like not even one, or had just turned one. And I was like, I had never been away from any of, the other two as babies. And how could I do this to her now? Like, I just couldn't fathom it. And let me just say, props to working moms. Like, I have nothing but respect for working parents. I just think it's amazing. I have friends who are like, I love working. Like, I am so glad that I can get out of the house and kind of have a little free time, grown-up time, feel constructive, and then come home and be mom and wife, or just single mom. And I have the utmost respect for that. I couldn't do it. And so I had to figure something out. And so that was the weekend that I just knew I was supposed to do this coaching thing. And so I messaged my coach and I said, I'm signing up. And I was like, what's the link? Tell me what to do. I was like super serious. Like, this is happening right now. I'm doing it. Didn't ask any questions. So that was the start of it. Because of all of that, it was like this perfect storm of the right inspiration in that fit group and the right set of really shitty circumstances. I'm sorry for the language, you guys, in our personal life, to make me realize like there was something here. And if you guys saw my post last night, maybe a little bit of that resonates with you too. That I had always felt kind of that burning desire to like do a little more. I had these beautiful kids, I had this beautiful family, but there was something inside of me that just like craved a little something extra, and I couldn't put my finger on it for the longest time. But when I first got into coaching, I realized like this was the piece that was missing. This is what I couldn't put my finger on for so long. And it was not like necessarily the health and fitness side of it. It was knowing that I was creating something, not just for myself to feel like I was doing something outside of mom and wife and home, right? Because I love that and I'm passionate about that. But it was something else extra that was like just mine, just my own. And when I first started earning those first commission checks, I was like, this is for real? Like, I can just talk about stuff that I already really like and like they wire me a paycheck? Like, what? So, hi you guys, thanks for getting on. So it was kind of mind-boggling, and I was like, this is why I felt like that all that time. Like it was all preparing me for this opportunity, and it was beyond just like getting fit and feeling great, because after a few months of being a coach, I did not come into coaching like this fitness model by any means, and I still am not. It still hasn't happened for me, dang it. But the reality is that I've been very successful just being a regular person, and that's who I resonated with. That's who, that's funny, Laura. I've heard that before once or twice. That's who inspires me. The moms who are just like me, but they're getting it done. They're like figuring it out, and they're just badasses in their own right. And so if you're sitting here thinking like, well, I am so far from my fitness goals, or like I'm not in good shape, or I have so much weight to lose, or like I just had a baby and like there's no way I could do something like this. There is, because people are inspired by that journey. Think of all the other new moms out there, or the people who also have 20 pounds to lose. Like, they are going to hear themselves in your story. So starting where you're at with what you've got is probably one of the most inspiring things. And it worked for me. So, I have a list to make me stay on topic. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing that. But I just wanted to really explain like where I was at before, how I found coaching. And I remember just recently, a few months ago, I was talking to somebody like, who kind of makes up your team of coaches? Because we have thousands of coaches on our team. And it's been really, really beautiful to see that grow in 5 years. And I was like, well, I feel most connected to women, obviously, but and not necessarily moms specifically, but since that's my story, you guys will hear me talk about that a lot, but just women who have that desire for a little bit more too, right? Like they're just looking for that little bit of extra. Like maybe you have a full-time job already, but it just makes you tired. It doesn't inspire you. You know, you have to keep it for benefits and for living. Hello, you know, but you just want that extra something. Or, you know, the newlywed wife, just like me, who stopped working, felt a lot of purpose in her job, but I left my job for my husband's career, you know, and I remember kind of searching for that even back then. Or the mom, the woman who's a mom who has like, I thought this is what I wanted, and it's everything that I love and everything that I want and more, but there's still some piece missing, you know. And so I kind of was explaining that, and this person said, well, you know, women who like can already stay home, or like if they already have a good job, or if they can be a stay-at-home mom, they don't really need this, you know. They don't really need, so they're probably going to come into this and not be successful. And I just was like, I don't like that, you know. It didn't sit well with me, and I kind of thought about that for a few minutes, and I thought that's not true, because if I exist, like if I'm in this world and that's how I felt, then I know there have to be other people out there who felt that way too, or who feel that way too, you know. And maybe that's a smaller group of us than if I just said, well, everybody, you know, everybody's on my team. I want to work with everybody, and I do, but I want to work with those people who have this burning desire for more in life. I think that that's what inspires me the most, and that was me. So I just have a very strong belief that if I exist in this world, there have to be more people just like me who are freaking amazing moms, you know, are at the practices and the games, and like who keep a semi-tidy house, right? Like I love decor. I love tidying. I love organization, even though I'm always trying to improve at that. I love being present with my family. Like that's my happy place, biggest homebody in the world. But there's this piece of me who loves being the badass mom boss too, you know, and loves that feeling of purpose and like walking across stage, being recognized, like earning free trips, earning paychecks. And I'll tell you guys, like, I'm going to include a disclaimer here. If you're kind of like, okay, well, what does this all entail? Well, really, you see what I do on social media. I talk about my life. I show you pictures of my kids. I work out, post selfies. I run online fit groups. And I invite all the time to that fit group. That's my job. I run that group. I help people to the best of my ability. And sometimes that's not knowing the answer. Like you're not always going to come in and be this professional, and we're not expecting you to be that as a coach. We're expecting you to just be that person for somebody, you know, be their cheerleader. And if you don't know the answer to their question, like about their you know, meal plan or how they can modify their workouts, like that's what your team's here for. You know, that's what I'm here for. That's what the rest of the team's here for. So you don't have to know everything. I still don't know everything. I'm not a professional. I'm not certified to do this. I just love people and I love what I do. And that's really what coaching is. And so I want to tell you guys, once I really got started and figured that out, like, okay, so I just like help people in these groups. Cool. Within my first 16 months as a coach, I was earning over 6 figures annually. So the way we break that down is $2,000 a week. And I hate talking about money, like makes me so nervous. And I was kind of like shaky and jittery about this before getting on this live video, but I felt like I heard these stories as a new coach and they motivated me to go for it. And so again, I exist, so there's got to be more people who exist like me, right? Motivated by that type of stuff. So weekly, that was my income, and it blew me away. It changed our life in incredible ways. And over, you know, another couple years, can't remember the exact timetable, I started earning 5 figures a week. And have been ever since. And again, you guys, that makes me so nervous and uncomfortable to share with you, but I I want you to go like, what the heck? Because that's what I think to myself all the time. I'm like, how is this possible that this little tiny business, that grew from this unsure girl who didn't know what she was doing, who didn't know how to do this, who had so far to go on her fitness journey. And I relate a lot to that girl right now because I'm on my fitness journey post baby number 4, like I'm back in that game, like trying to, get that pre-baby body back. And so I'm back there, and I think that's why I'm just so like motivated to talk about this with you guys, like what is truly possible. And so I'm going to follow that up with Beachbody does not guarantee any, income. It's all about your own diligence and work ethic, and truly your income, and we'll say this all the time, your income in this business is a direct reflection of how many people you help, how many lives you touch. And that's the goal, right? So that's why even though I don't always want to be on social media, like sometimes we all just need like a little breather. But the reason I show up every day is because I know there's other moms like me who need to hear it, who need to know that there's hope, not only for feeling confident in their own skin again, but that they can provide something for their family, that they can contribute and they can feel really good and like, wow, I did that, like I did that. I got that award, or I earned that free trip for my husband and me, or my mom and me, or my sister and me, or my best friend, like whatever it is, I did that. I earned that paycheck. I helped pay rent this week or this month, or I helped pay our phone bill. Like those are the things that are life changing. The fitness, like getting in great shape and stuff like that, is kind of a byproduct of the lifestyle change, the mindset shift, the growth personally that happens. And the paychecks are obviously a huge plus, but they drove me, you know what I mean? I'm so glad that you needed to hear this. Like, it's just been on my heart to share. So thank you for saying that, Becca. And so I know I've been blabbing on for like 23 minutes right now, but I want to wrap up by saying, if any of this spoke to you, you guys, like, don't be the me who waited like 8 or 9 months. I think it was 8 months to just like chew on this. Like I totally believe that everybody has their timing with stuff like this. Like I needed those 8 months, obviously, to really just like sleep on it a lot. But my one, I don't really have any regrets, but if I could change anything, I would have just thrown the fear aside and just been like, okay, cause I was seriously like, okay, I'll try it. Okay, no, I'm not ready. Okay, I'll try it. Okay, no, I'm not ready. And I just wish I hadn't doubted myself in those times, because who knows where I could be with those 8 extra months. But it's neither here nor there. The fact is, if any of this speaks to you, like say something, DM me, email me. I think you can comment on this. I think this will be up for 24 hours. I don't really go live very often. Probably should change that, but find a way to reach out to me. There's a link in my profile on my Insta that you can click on, and it'll say like apply for my one-on-one coach mentorship. That's my new coach training. That's how you can become a coach, and you can do this. You don't have to be this fitness professional. You don't have to be where you want to be yet. You're going to get there, but you don't have to be there yet. And so I just don't want people to think that that's what you have to be, is this like image of perfection, because that doesn't exist actually. And so, yes, like let me know. I am working on a brand new training. We have an awesome new training already that's set up. But I'm filming all these brand new videos. If you guys have been watching my stories the past couple weeks, you know that I've been working on this. I'm really proud of it. It feels like my baby. And I'm teaching you all the stuff that I did as a brand new coach, because I want that same success for you guys and for any of my new coaches who come onto the team with me. So I know it's Friday. I know we all kind of like disappear for the weekend. Maybe this is your social media time. I don't know. It just felt like the right time to come on and talk to you all. But like I said, if this resonates with you in any way, like I want to talk to you. It doesn't even have to be your time right this second, but I just want to know, like, yes, that's me, and maybe I can calm some fears of yours. Maybe we can just talk it out, get on the phone, like DM back and forth, like however you feel most comfortable. I just know that, like I said, if I felt this way, then I know there have to be other people who feel this way too. So I hope you guys are having a great Friday. I am going to go work out. I need to like chug the rest of this pre-workout. I'm obsessed with it. Also mixed with some Emergen-C because you can never have too much vitamin C, you know. And I'm going to go do leg day. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.